Well, hello everyone. Sports fans, this is Comics Baker TV here. So time for another prediction video. As it is time for my predictions for the 2025 World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. The World Series starting this Friday night in Toronto. As the Dodgers, who are looking to repeat, trying to win their second straight World Series. It would also be their third World Series championship this decade. And you have the Toronto Blue Jays, who are in the World Series, trying to win it for the first time since 1993. Uh, and these two teams uh, had very similar seasons. The Blue Jays were the best team record-wise in the American League, were the top seed in the AL, and they uh, won a thrilling 7-game ALCS against the Seattle Mariners, and they lost the first two games in that series at home, and they then went to Seattle, won the next two to tie it up, and then the Mariners won Game 5 in dramatic fashion. A go-ahead grand slam by Eugenio Suarez was the difference in that one. So the Mariners were just one win away from going to their first ever World Series. They're the only team that has never been to a World Series, so they were just one win away from doing that. But the Blue Jays won Game 6. They then forced a Game 7. The Mariners took an early 1-0 lead in the first. But George Springer, the longtime Houston Astro, with the go-ahead home run in the 7th inning, the 3-run homer, would give them the lead and the win 4-3 to send them to their first World Series in 32 years. So, what a year it's been for them, and pretty amazing because the Blue Jays last year didn't even make the playoffs, and they actually, I believe, were in last place in their division. So, to go from last place in your division to now the World Series is quite the turnaround. So, Toronto, led by first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr., had a monster ALCS, was the MVP of the ALCS. George Springer had a huge ALCS as well, hitting that key go-ahead home run in Game 7. And for the Dodgers, it was pretty much the exact opposite in their NLCS rather. They swept the Milwaukee Brewers, in which their pitching absolutely dominated. The Brewers scored exactly 4 runs in those 4 games. The Dodgers' pitching was outstanding. Blake Snell in Game 1, I believe, pitched into the 8th inning. Yoshinobu Yamamoto went the distance in Game 2, gave up a run, but it was in the first inning, nothing else. Complete game for Yamamoto. And Shohei Ohtani in Game 4 had what arguably some people are calling the greatest game ever, the greatest playoff game ever. He went 6 innings, shutout innings, struck out 10, and hit 3 home runs. Absolutely incredible from the likely MVP again in the National League, Shohei Ohtani. So just incredible what he's done, and honestly, it's kind of gotten better and better every year. So, this should be a thrilling World Series. So the Dodgers have had a long break, basically. When this World Series starts, they will have not played in a week. They wrapped up the NLCS last Friday. And the Blue Jays, they, of course, went 7 games. So, the Dodgers beat the Reds in the wild card series. Then they beat the Phillies, who were the second seed in the National League playoffs, in which they won Game 4 of that division series in walk-off fashion due to a throwing error by the Phillies relief pitcher. So it was a costly mistake. And yes, the Dodgers trying to win their second straight World Series. Uh, and yeah, and I mean, they had their struggles in the regular season, the Dodgers did. They had a lot of injuries. Shohei Ohtani, I mean, he didn't start pitching until I believe the middle of June. And really, in his starts, he wasn't going more than like 4 innings. So, but he's been a star for them all season long. I mean, really, ever since they signed him to that monster contract. So, and yeah, and for the Blue Jays, they beat the Yankees in the Division Series, then the Mariners in 7 games. That was some series, ALCS. So, and heartbreak for the Mariners. They were only 6 outs away, or I guess, like 12 outs away from going to their first ever World Series. But the Blue Jays, they rallied back and were able to get it done. So, yeah, too bad for Seattle. They are now still the only team that has yet to have made a World Series appearance. So, and the Blue Jays will have a rookie starting Game 1 of the World Series. Right-hander Trey Savage, who started out the season in Single A. That's right, started out his season in Single A, then went Double A, then to Triple A, and then in late September, just about a month ago, made his debut. And now here he is starting a World Series game. So pretty incredible to go from Class A, basically the lowest level, to now the World Series. So pretty amazing. And the Dodgers will have Blake Snell starting. He's been dominant so far this postseason for them. So, and my winner for the 2025 World Series, I'm picking the Toronto Blue Jays to beat the Dodgers in 6 games, and the Blue Jays to win their first World Series since 1993. So, and I think the MVP of the World Series will be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Yes, I think he won ALCS MVP, and I'm picking him to win World Series MVP. So, yeah, I think this will be quite the World Series. You also have ex-Blue Jay Teoscar Hernandez returning to Toronto to face his former team. So, and Clayton Kershaw, the longtime Dodgers ace and one of the best pitchers of all time, will be looking to close out his career with a second straight World Series title and third overall. But I think it'll be the Toronto Blue Jays to come out on top and beat the Dodgers in 6 games. So, and be 2025 World Champs. So anyway, let me know who you have winning the World Series this year. Yeah, honestly, not surprised that the Dodgers are here again, just with their lineup and their pitching staff that they have. Yeah, even though they knocked off the top-seeded Brewers in the NLCS, not surprised. So, anyway, thank you much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's know what you guys have winning the World Series.